Well, you can't say I've overwhelmed you with a slew of video reports over the past couple of months, that's for damn sure. But I wanted to do one today because it marks a significant anniversary, which I'm going to get to you in just a moment and recap. Also, I wanted to make a small political statement. And you know, I don't believe politics and sports video reports should mix. But it's my video report, so I can do whatever the hell I want. That's the bottom line. Um, Also, I have a complimentary play coming up on the Arkansas-Missouri game, which I think is a fascinating matchup tonight in the SEC tournament. First of all, listen, you saw this week where one of the Miami players was suspended and also fined because of derogatory anti-Semitic remark he made while playing video games on the Twitch format online. And I don't buy for a minute that he didn't know what he was saying. I don't buy for a minute that he didn't know what he was saying was a derogatory remark. I don't buy at all when these celebrities or athletes make these remarks in public that, oh, I didn't know these were bad words. I never used these words before. Yeah, you use them all the time in private. This time you just got caught in public. I don't buy for the oh, it's because I was inebriated. I didn't know. Yeah, bullshit. Sorry. Oh, did I just say that wrong? Yes. But that's the fact. You got caught in public saying those things. That's what happens. So I don't buy it. But I do think there's a double standard. And what I'm referring to is the fact that the Looney Tunes congresswoman from that small little nowhere place land in Georgia who won her district because she ran unopposed, and yet she only got 74% of the vote, but she ran unopposed. Interesting. Think about that for a second. And I'm talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, who not only, of course, gets a lot of QAnon support, but she must get UFO supporters if she didn't manage to get the other 26% of the vote that she didn't get because she ran unopposed. They must have disappeared up in Mars. I don't know. She said this week in a interview published in Newsweek, she referred to a Rhode Island Democrat as Representative Mussolini because this gentleman was thinking about drafting legislation to oppose a tactics that she tried to employ on the House floor earlier this week to delay a vote, the Biden COVID relief package vote. Representative Mussolini. Now listen, as somebody of Italian descent, as someone whose great-grandparents came over in the 20s and 30s from Italy, passed through Ellis Island and made something of themselves here in America and worked hard, I find that really disgusting. Has she been tarred and feathered? Just a little. Should have been like this. Should have been huge. Just a little. Maybe it's because everybody knows she's an effing whack job. I don't know. But interesting double standard. But we have lots of double standards in this country. I mean, Andrew Cuomo, do I believe that he has done what all these women have claimed that he's done? Yeah. Yeah. And the New York governor? Yeah. Absolutely. Because do you think all 5, 6 of these women are liars? Absolutely no. Is he under heavy pressure to resign? Absolutely. Should he? Probably. Promising career going up in flames. Absolutely. But let me ask you, is it a double standard that guy that used to be at the White House, why did he get away with it? Or why is he still getting away with it? Because do you believe, I don't know, what is it, the 263 women that claimed that he did what he did? Oh, they were all liars too? Interesting. It's okay for one because he was a Republican. All those women were liars. But those 6 that are blaming the Democrat, they're all telling the truth. I don't know. Okay, let's move forward. Listen, today, of course, if you listen to, I was listening to NBA on Sirius yesterday, and they had all these serious shows on NBA radio. The serious music, the day the NBA stopped. All about the Utah Jazz testing positive, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. The day the NBA, Adam Silver had to stop the NBA. And I'm going, seriously? I mean, come on. So last year, February 12th, I texted Steve. I said, this COVID pandemic, this flu thing, It's going to spread eventually to the USA, and I believe that it's going to shut down all sports, and it could ultimately end our business and put us out of business. And that I thought that it would eventually hit sometime in March. Am I a psychic? No. But I'll tell you what happened. My wife and I had a 2-week trip planned, a 3-week trip planned. On April 5th, we were going to leave to go to Amsterdam to see the Tulip Festival. Stop laughing. My wife wanted to go see the tulips. I was going to take her to go see the Tulip Festival. Can you see me spending a week going and seeing rows of tulips in Amsterdam? Hey, honey, let's go see that. Boy, those tulips, they look good. Oh, wow, look over there. Aren't they nice? They're red tulips. Look at that design over there. They look like blue tulips. Couldn't imagine. Thank God for the COVID crisis. But anyway, then we were going to go from there. We were going to go up to Norway and some of the Scandinavian countries. And then we had another trip planned for, you're just still amazed that I was going to go take my wife anywhere to go see tulips. Anyway, and then coming June, we were going to go to the UK for 3 or 4 weeks. And we were going to work our way down Luxembourg, then to Monaco, because there are casinos in Monaco. I had to bring my wife somewhere. Tulips and then casinos in Monaco, and then over to Italy. So, but every day I always read a couple of the UK newspapers. I read the newspapers in English in Italy and also the ones in Amsterdam, and I have been reading about this pandemic, this crisis that they were having, people getting hospitalized, this flu that had come over from China, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to be a, John Hopkins trained physician to realize that this was going to be a problem, and people were still flying back and forth, and eventually it was going to come here, and eventually with athletes playing it was going to spread. So Steve, kind of discounted and said, well, we'll have to see what happens, and I'm going, it's going to hit. So when it finally did hit, March 12th, I'm waiting to go see a doctor. 9 o'clock in the morning, guys are starting to say, I had a big play on Marquette and Seton Hall. I think it was the game that they played the first half and they canceled the rest of the game. Everybody is switching their plays frantically as different tournaments are canceling their games. And they're texting me. I'm sitting in the doctor's office and I'm telling guys, just cancel everything. Just close the sites. Refund everybody's money. And by the time I got out of the doctor's office, 2.5 hours later, with bad news all the way around, by the way, we were out of business. And of course, we didn't come back to business till July 29th. Now, we came back and people came back and they wanted to gamble, but the world is certainly different. And I'll tell you what, I've been in this business since 1989. I've been through every single strike. Actually started in this business in 1983 in a different capacity. I've been through every single strike. I've been here through 9/11. I've taken this business from 976 numbers when they used to charge $1 for handicapping pick to the 900 business when I was in charge of the marketing, advertising, promotion, and doing the biggest 900 number in this industry when we used to be a $25 million a year industry, to transitioning that business into the internet and creating these internet sites in this formula, which everybody else has stolen from me over the years, 20-some years ago. Never did I anticipate anything seeming like it is here. So to say that we're still here now and thriving is really something. But the one thing I knew, even during that entire time when I was sitting on my couch and enjoying having 5.5 months off, eating M&Ms and watching more TV than you can possibly imagine, is that I knew we would be back, because I knew gamblers would come back, because we all love the vicarious thrill. We all love gambling. And when sports came back, I knew people would watch and people would resume gambling. It's the second oldest thing next to prostitution. It's never going to go away. End of story. So with that being said, let's take a look now at this game between Arkansas and Missouri. These two teams split their 2 regular season meetings. But both teams had significant players missing each regular season meeting, and that's the thing. So when Missouri won in Arkansas in the first game, Arkansas's top player, Justin Smith, did not play because he had ankle surgery the day before. Now, Smith averages 12.5 points, 6.8 rebounds a game. He is their anchor in the middle. Without him, Jeremiah Tillman, the 6'10 senior, who averages 12.4 points, 7.4 rebounds for Missouri, well, he had a field day. He had 25 points and 11 rebounds. And as a result, Arkansas, a 6.5 point favorite that day, lost 81-68. But in the rematch on February 13th in Columbia, Arkansas won that game 86-81 in overtime as a 2.5 point underdog when Tillman did not play because he had a death in his family. Smith was back in action. Smith, a 6'7 grad transfer from Indiana, had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now, don't get me wrong. Smith and Tillman have good supporting casts. But Smith, for the Razorbacks, has a better supporting cast. And there is a reason that Arkansas comes in here as the hottest team in the SEC. They have won 8 in a row overall. They've won 11 straight games in SEC play. In fact, they've won 11 of their last 12 games overall. Their only loss in that stretch came in the SEC Big 12 Challenge when they lost to Oklahoma State. They are the number 2 seed. What concerns me about Missouri is that this is a team that has collapsed defensively. They have allowed 76.3 points in their last 8 games. They closed the regular season by losing 5 of their last 7 games. Yesterday, they barely got by an average Georgia team, 73-70. Now, is Arkansas the better team? Yes. Did I like Arkansas more this morning when they were a 3-point favorite? Yeah. Now they're 5 to 5.5. I still like Arkansas. The game's in Nashville. They're the hotter team. You have seen, however, and the problem with the college conference tournaments, why they are much harder to win than the big dance, is that when you have teams that play a quarterfinal game, as opposed to a team that has a double bye and immediately enters into the semifinals, or a team that, for example, plays a first or a second round game, as opposed to a team that gets a double bye into the quarterfinals, sometimes that team that plays the day before, as opposed to a team that hasn't played since last Saturday, last Sunday, and is making its tournament debut on Thursday or Friday at a neutral site, that team that's been idle is a little rusty. Yet, I still think Arkansas is the way to go here, and I would say the Razorbacks are your complimentary playing the way to go. So that'll do it. I wish you well. And who knows when we'll talk again. I'm not making any promises, but go forth, win some money.